Looks like he's gonna eat that whole pan of stuff. It dumped some on the path there. I don't know if the deer ate it or not, but it looks like he's gonna get the rest of that. So far this year there's been 7, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 7 different black bear up here. Now I don't know if that's a different one or one of the ones I've seen. It's hard to tell at this distance, but he's pretty big. That's thing is about 3 feet off the ground. And he's sitting on his rear end there eating. Not exactly sure what was in that stuff. I just bought a new bag today. The bag of black sunflower seeds went up to 40 or 30 bucks a bag. From 16. I don't know what's going on, but this stuff was $15 for 50 pounds, so I bought 100 pounds of it for the same price that I would normally get 40 pounds of sunflower seeds, and they're really liking this stuff. I need to take that dog out, but I gotta wait for this bear to leave, or else Bullseye'll smell him and he'll want to run down there after him. I guess he ate what's in the pan. Yeah, I had thrown some on the ground there in a couple places. I guess he's going to eat all of it. Hey YouTube, so it's Tuesday, I think today's the 31st, the last Tuesday in August, I believe. Anyway, I went to cut my grass yesterday, and the gosh darn drive belt for the mower broke on me. So I thought I had another one. I do. The problem with it is that it's not quite as bad, but pretty much as bad as the other one. So I probably just hung on to it for size. But I was going to throw it on there just to see if it's going to run a while, you know, to cut the grass. But, you know, when you get to be my age, fixing stuff halfway isn't what I'm after. So what I got to do is put a new drive belt on here that goes from the pulley I'm pointing at there, that pulley right there, and then it wraps around in the mower deck and drives the mower. So, I mean, I haven't had any real problems with this mower for years, but now it's decided to give me some grief with this belt. So the other belts look good. The sad thing about the belt, it was an astounding $60 for a belt. Now yes, the belt's a little longer than a car belt, but for crying out loud, 60 bucks, $10 for shipping. Anyway, that's where I'm at so far. And then I had another problem this morning when I went to take my garbage to the dump, which I can hardly believe happened, but I'll show you that. And got my hands full of things to do. Everything was fine for months and months. Now for some reason things are breaking down on me. So anyway, the way I handle this vehicle thing is I use this truck for two things. To get coal to keep it in the garage in this winter so I don't have to be going in and out of the bin. And we use this truck if we're going to go somewhere that's, you know, further than 100 miles away, so I have reliability. That's fine. And this truck I use for plowing snow and to take the garbage to the dump. And for some reason, and I don't know why, I was coming home and I noticed that the heat gauge on here had pegged itself all the way around to 100. I mean, all the way around. Now, the motor didn't blow or nothing, and nothing really came apart that I know of until I came home here. There was no water dripping out anywhere or nothing, and then as soon as I shut the truck off, all of a sudden water started coming out of here. Now why the top of this isn't here anymore, I have no idea. This thing used to be closed, but for some reason that's gone. So it was here when I first came home. Yeah, there it is, it's laying here. Let me grab that. Okay. Well, don't ask me how that got on there, but I'm gonna have to glue that together better. Anyway, that was on there, and water was blowing out of here. Now, what I think is wrong is I think that the thermostat inside this hose stopped working, and that's why the truck was overheating. So we have to check and see what's going on with that. Looks like these wires got melted a little bit, but they're not apart, so that's not too bad. I don't see anything else that's really a problem at the moment. But anyway, so now I have the truck to fix as well. What I'm going to do, I'm not even going to play games with this. I'm just going directly after the thermostat. As soon as it cools down, the truck's pretty hot yet. But when it cools down, I'm going to take the thermostat out because that's probably what's wrong with it. Because when I was coming up the road, even when the temperature went to 250, I stopped the truck, opened the hood, and nothing it seemed hot to me. So I guess it was probably the top end was kind of hot from the thermostat. I hope that that's all that happened. So we'll see, and we'll have to go from there. Anyway, always something. Well, you can see that this pile of wood that my neighbor bought is pretty much plain down now. The stuff that's inside there is his, and he's going to be cutting it to length, and then we're going to plane it to make wainscoting out of it for in his house. So he needs to finish that up yet. I think he said it'll be up for this coming weekend, and I don't care if he's here for a couple weekends. I just want my tools, like the planer and stuff, back in the garage before winter comes. So anyway, I have this hemlock log on here I'm going to cut this morning, and see what we can get out of there with 2x4s. Okay, so the gas tank here is just about empty, so I'm going to fill that up before I do any cutting. I have the blade tightened, which is, in case you haven't seen this before, it's this. This tightens the blade, and then there's a thing on the side there you can look at to see just how tight it is. That's all good. The oil's good in it. So I'll be right back. I just want to get gassed. Hey guys, well, I was trying to get the truck done. I wanted to cut the wood, but the truck was a little more important to me. So I took the thermostat out, and I put it in some boiling water, and it wouldn't open. So I, luckily, amongst all my stuff up there, I had a new thermostat. I checked it out, put it in water, it opened at 180. So I put that in. Then, while I was fooling around, I noticed water dripping, and here this whole bottom piece was loose. I don't know how. I mean, this radiator I put in the truck brand new when I put the frame on the truck. So somehow or another came loose. So I cleaned it all up and everything, and then I soldered it, and it'll be good. I just need to put it back in the truck. So I didn't get to do the log yet, but I will. It's just one thing after the other. And I still haven't gotten the belt for that thing. So I'm hoping the belt comes tomorrow. So anyway, here we are. It's always something. I've been pretty lucky though with this truck. That's an '89 truck. I put the frame in it 4 years ago, and I haven't had one problem with it. Well, I shouldn't say one. I had the battery went dead on it from the plow. But other than that, I got no trouble with that truck. So, in the past 4 years, I ought to say. So anyway, this will last for another 20 years. See what happens. Well guys, believe it or not, it's Thursday. Yesterday, Wednesday, it rained so hard yesterday that you couldn't do a thing. So I don't know, but today it's nice and the temperature's cool. It was only 55 degrees this morning, so you can't beat that. Alright, so anyway, this is a hemlock here that I want to cut up. I have a bunch of white oak coming, so I should be able to cut white oak, or not white oak, red oak next week. So it should be here on Monday or Tuesday. We'll see what happens with it. Yeah, and also I'm wearing my old pants because I lost 12 pounds altogether, which I'm happy about. And the diet that I got on because of this diabetes seems to be working fairly well. I mean, it's not that I'm losing a lot of weight quickly, but I'm not really worried about how fast I lose it, just so I know I'm losing it. And the fact that I'm back in my pants that I was wearing originally tells me that I've lost some weight. And I check myself on the scale naturally. Now I don't know how good this thing is going to be, because this is actually the top of the tree. The part that's from here up, I think I have over, well, this is the second from the top. So we'll see what happens with it. That's 11 inches at that end. I raised this up 2 inches, it's 9 here. I just want to get a straight cut through there to see what I can get out of this thing. You know I'm shooting for 2x4s, so we'll see what happens here. I gotta warm this up a little bit. only thing I can get out of this is probably, oh, I might be able to get 2 or 3 2x6s. Otherwise, I'll probably get maybe 3 2x4s out of it. Gotta see what's gonna happen here. Wondering, I just resharpened this blade. So I just sharpened it I think on Monday, so I haven't used it yet. So now I'm going to use it. Is still good yet, even though the top part of the tree is still looking good. I might be able to get 3 2x6s out of that, but I gotta get the chainsaw. but still not a bad 2x6. Not perfect. If I cut it down to a 2x4, I could get it to be perfect. Now these are full size 2x6. That's what I want, and that's what I have here. You can see this one here is pretty nice. This one has a little bit of wane on it on that one side there, here, and then this up here. Now if I cut that down to a 2x4, I could get the wane off of that, but because I'm cutting 2x6s right now, I'm just going to leave that as it is, because you never know if you're using a piece to frame out a window or a door, this would work good. So anyway guys, that's where I'm at with the hemlock. Like I say, next week I'll be cutting red oak again. I got some pretty nice logs that I have that I'll be cutting down this coming week early, and then we'll be able to cut those. So I hope if you guys had that part of that rain in the East Coast from the storm, I think it was I forget, Ida or something, I hope these didn't get too affected by it. Alright guys, have a good one. Thanks. Bye. So anyway, what I wanted to finish up here was I wanted to tell you about the diet, since there was a bunch of people interested in that. For 4 weeks now, I've been on a no carbohydrates at all diet. It's not what you'd call a carnivore diet, because we're eating vegetables with it. But the diet's working for me. It's slow, but I'm okay with that. I mean, I've lost 12 pounds. I'm very happy to be able to say that. And I'm just going to continue with this diet. And the reason for that is because Sally and I both have diabetes, and there's nothing else we can do except to change our diet in order to keep from using so much insulin. So I was using 300 units of insulin a day, and right now I'm down to about 100. Sometimes like 110, sometimes 90. I had a 94 one day. My problem right now, and I believe it's because I still got weight on me, is my dawn effect, if you know what that is, or morning blood sugars. Even though I'm not eating from 5 o'clock all the way till 9 o'clock in the morning when I test myself, like this morning it was 180. And I'm trying to keep it between 90 and 140 at the max. Once I can do that, I'm getting off of insulin. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get off insulin. Now Sally, she's been keeping hers below 130, and it's looking really good for her. So I think she can get off of insulin pretty soon. You know, we just gotta, we've been on this for 4 weeks, and in 4 weeks time, you don't really eat every kind of thing that you normally could eat. Now for us, just to give you an idea, like we eat a lot of tomatoes, peppers, and onions because they don't really hurt you, and I actually like them. I love them. So we've been putting that in, you know, hamburger, we used it like you make hamburger with a little bit of stuff in it for tacos. We've done that. We've made chili without. We're using tomatoes, and the sauce isn't as thick as a chili sauce would be. It's thinner because we're just using the juice from the tomatoes. But doesn't hurt us one bit. In fact, after I ate one of the meals the other day, my blood sugar went down 10 points without any kind of shot or anything. So that was pretty good. So like in the chili, she'd have, starting off a little bit of oil in the pan, olive oil, garlic, brown the onions, then put peppers in there to get them to soften up a little bit. Then fill it with tomatoes, put the kidney beans with the juice in to add a little extra juice, or one can of beans, I guess, with juice. The other one was dumped out. And then, what the heck else does she have in there? Peppers, tomatoes, and onions, yeah. So we had chili made like that. Now, we can't eat really hot stuff, so I put a little bit of chili powder on top of it. The good thing was it didn't change my blood sugar at all in the afternoon. My problem is this morning dawn effect blood sugar at the moment, because mine this morning was 180, which is just way too high. The other day it was, I think, 190. I had a 160 in there somewhere. It might be what you eat at night, but I'm not sure because I'm not eating anything that really would affect the blood sugar at supper time, but yet it still goes up, during the night when you wake up in the morning. And like I say, that's why I'm calling it the dawn effect. And I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if that's really true or false what's happening, but it's definitely going up. Some of the other things, like instead of hamburger and chili, Sally made a pot of chili that had chicken in it, and that was really good. And then we had now these are a little fatty. We had spare ribs, a flank of spare ribs with sauerkraut on them. I'm telling you, it does nothing to your blood sugar, at least to ours. I shouldn't say to anybody else, but to our blood sugar, it didn't make any difference. We've cut out totally eating between meals. We've cut out, I'm fasting 20 hours now. I go from 5 o'clock at night till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's when I start to eat. So like today I had 2 hamburger patties, and that's it. There was cheese on them, but there's nothing else. So that doesn't affect the blood sugar either. But there's a lot of recipes that she's been coming up with that have really been good. I mean, you can eat things like chicken wings and stuff. You just can't put barbecue sauce on them. So you have to, use spices to do something else with them. This morning, I had watched a video that was talking about cinnamon lowering blood sugar. So this morning when I woke up and it was 180, I figured I'll try some cinnamon in coffee just to see if that works. And that doesn't break your fast. So I had coffee with cinnamon, and I took my blood sugar about an hour later, and it had gone up maybe 4 points. But I think that was probably just a defect in the machine. But the thing is it didn't knock it down. And I don't know how long it takes for cinnamon to act, but for us it didn't seem to make much of a difference. Sally had it, and so did I. And when we checked ourselves, it didn't make any difference for either one of us. Now, maybe we didn't have enough in it. I don't know, so we're going to fool around with that a little bit. But, just to let you know, this diabetes is no joke. And having it, and, and I didn't realize that insulin made you gain weight. I don't think I've ever been told that my whole life. So when I started taking my insulin the beginning of this year, I had to start a new type. I was taking 300 units a day. And yes, it was working as far as keeping my blood glucose down, but it wasn't working for my weight. My weight went crazy. So now I got the insulin level down. The blood glucose during the day is good. I don't have the insulin level down. I meant the blood sugar level is down. So that's not bad during the day. It's actually normal. But it's the mornings that messed me up. Because you got to do something with that in the morning. You can't let it go. I had watched an article where one guy said, a doctor, he said that if you ate in the morning, a little bit of stuff that wasn't, you know, that was a good diabetic food, that the insulin should drop. It did not drop. Mine went up. So that didn't work for us. So we're still working on it. It's a matter of getting the right meals for the right time that you're going to eat that don't affect blood sugar. Once you got that, you got your problem solved. You can actually reverse this. And as far as I'm concerned, I reversed the amount of insulin I'm taking by 66%. Now, Sally was only taking about 10 or 15 units a day, so she got hers down to about 6. So she's actually done, better than I have if you compare percentages. So that's what we're working on. And we know we have to stay on this for the rest of our life. So that's the whole thing we're working with, trying to find the right meals that are going to do the right things and still be satisfying. And I got to tell you that, I'm glad that she's the cook she is, because the meals have been more than satisfying. I thought we were going to be starving to death, but it's not happening. And I don't miss breakfast, even though I used to love eating breakfast. I don't miss it at all, so I can get to 1 o'clock without a problem. So anyway, if you have any questions or anything and you want to ask them in the comments, go ahead and do that. I'll be happy to answer you. Have a good one, guys.